There's a recovery truth that eventually, I believe, finds its way into our hearts as we launch out into repair work or recovery work, whatever you'd like to call it. The fact is, there is a truth that once we absorb it, it convicts us, but yet sets us free. It wakes us up, but ultimately provides a sense of freedom to our own well-being and our own approach to our own repair work. And that is the truth that you have to take care of yourself. You see, for me early on, one of the biggest things that I struggled with was self-pity. I felt incredibly sorry for myself. I had devastated so many people. I had devastated and let down Samantha. I had jeopardized my family and everything that was supposed to be the most important things of my life. I had held them very loosely and I had jeopardized them. And I had to be taught this principle that I hope you will grab hold of today, which is you have to take care of you. It's not your spouse's job to take care of your recovery work. It's not your spouse's job to babysit you in your own individual repair work. Now, this is a truth for both the unfaithful as well as the betrayed. A part of me wanted my repair work to be easy. I mean, after all, I had done so much for so many people for so long. I felt like at some level God owed me because I had done so much for Him. Yes, even though I had had an affair, which was just devastating for everyone, there was this real self-righteous obliviousness to the fact that I had hurt and ripped Samantha's heart out. I, although kind of was becoming aware of what an idiot I had been, the reality is I wanted it to be easy. I wanted people to just line up and say, here's what you need to do. I didn't want to have to go find my own recovery work. I didn't want to have to go find a mentor. I didn't want to have to go find a therapist. I wanted everything to be handed to me because to a certain extent, I was kind of used to that. Also, I was feeling sorry for myself and wallowing in this, oh, I'm such a terrible person. I can't believe I've done this. So help me out, God, kind of do it for me. Or Samantha, just tell me what you want me to do and then I'll try and chip away at it. There was not a lot of initiative, and it's very common as a couple kind of launches out into trying to give the marriage a shot that we want our spouse to do it for us. And it is, and this, I say this delicately, sometimes the betrayed would like the unfaithful to do the work for them too, and it's just not possible. Each spouse has to do their own individual work. In fact, that's your job. That is your responsibility, for you to do your own work. You have to take care of you. You can't wait for someone else to do it. As an unfaithful, we can be somewhat hamstrung because we're not sure what our spouse or our partner is willing to do. We're not sure if they're willing to do work or see a therapist or do an online course or come to a weekend intensive or things like that. We don't know. Well, rather than wait around and just say, well, I can't really do anything because they don't want to participate, what are you doing for you? As a betrayed, maybe your unfaithful is in their own world, ambivalent, confused, full of self-pity. Maybe they're with their affair partner. That doesn't mean that you can't take care of you. In fact, the best thing that you can do is take care of you. If we don't take responsibility for us, who will? And it is unfair to place the responsibility for our recovery on our spouse or partner. That's unfair. That's not their job. That is going to set both of you up for failure, and then it's going to create the opportunity for you to blame your spouse or your partner for not helping you when they're not supposed to be the one that does your recovery work for you. And I know that this is a little bit harder for you betrayeds to hear, but it's not their job to do your work for you. It is your job to do your own work for you. However, there is a legitimate onus on the unfaithful to help support you and love you and care for you, even if you are difficult to be around, even if you are struggling with anger, rage, resentment, and confusion. I believe there are 5 roadblocks that we have to really push through when we're trying to take responsibility for our own healing, our own repair work, our own emotional, mental, physical, even spiritual well-being, if you come from a spiritual point of view. It's on us to take care of us. And here are 5 specific roadblocks that I know for me, I had to push through. Number 1 is pity. As long as we are feeling sorry for ourselves, we are self-absorbed, we're fixating on us, we are preventing ourselves from actually getting our eyes on maybe a book, maybe a course, maybe our free online boot camp, maybe the therapist work that the therapist is working with you to do. As long as we are succumbing to self-pity, we are thinking about ourselves. And if you're an unfaithful, the last thing that you want to do is be fixated on yourself. You want to be able to focus on how to help your betrayed spouse heal while you're also not feeling sorry for yourself, but doing repair work to get healthy. Graciously, I do know that the betrayed spouse struggles with pity, and it's completely understandable. There comes a point where you begin to say, look, feeling sorry for myself is no longer helping me. In fact, it's keeping me stuck. And while you can continue to suffer, because you are suffering the effects of another man or woman's choice in your life, you can still take action. You can still get unstuck. You can still be incredibly brave and do a little bit at a time. Maybe it's read a book. Maybe it's watching these videos. Maybe it's doing something on our website. I don't know. But as long as you allow yourself to be chained by self-pity, you're going to stay stuck, and you're going to end up possibly even resenting yourself down the road, because you're going to wake up and it's going to be a year or 2 years and you're still going to be in the same place that you're in right now. The second roadblock is we want it to be easy. That's a truth for the unfaithful. That's a truth for the betrayed. We just kind of feel, and I struggled with this really significantly. I felt like I'm trying to do the right thing here, God. I'm trying to save my marriage. I'm trying to do the noble thing here. It should be easy. Why is this so difficult? From peripheral issues, bills, child rearing issues, troubles with cars, you name it. I felt like, look, I'm trying to do the right thing. Make it easy, God. And if you don't come from a spiritual point of view, you may say, universe, why is it so hard? I'm trying to do the right thing here. Why does it feel like everything is closing in around me? It's normal, whether you come from faith, whether you don't come from faith. It is normal, and it is not going to be easy. Throw away the easy button. Throw away the easy expectations. I can assure you, it's not just you. I know you might think we're cursed. This is a sign. It's so hard. This is a sign. Well, I can't speak to your situation, but I can tell you that time and time again, I was incredibly frustrated. I threw more tools in my garage. I broke more stuff. I said more expletives. I broke things so many times because I felt so much rage for the fact that I was trying to do the right thing, and it was hard as hell. And I want to tell you today, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. The third roadblock is the roadblock of blame. As long as we, and this is primarily for the unfaithful, as long as we continue to blame, we're not safe, we're not getting healthy, and we're not taking ownership of the fact that we have created this situation. As long as we blame, as long as we make it somebody else's fault, we're going to miss the opportunity for us to get healthy. We're going to miss the opportunity to get our life back. One of the things that infuriated Samantha is when I blamed everybody else. Because to her, when I blamed everything else, it said I wasn't safe, I wasn't being a man of integrity, a man of character, I wasn't owning my choices, And it made her really afraid that she could trust me again, because if I was constantly going to blame everybody else, then how safe was I to pursue restoration? How safe was I to be vulnerable with? Blame is a cancer that will continue to push your significant other away from you. The fourth roadblock is doing repair work when we don't feel like it. We have become such creatures of comfort, right? We want it to be comfortable. We want it to be easy. And I'm sorry, some of the best work that I did mentally and emotionally, spiritually, was when I didn't feel like doing it. If we only do repair work when we feel like it, we're not going to get very far. Our relationship is going to continue to unravel, and it's going to be our own fault because we wanted to only do recovery work when we had a good day at work, when we maybe had a good drink, when we had physical intimacy with our spouse. We can't succumb to the trap that says, I'll only do recovery work when I feel like it. It's a recipe for disaster because life takes over, exhaustion takes over, kids takes over if you have it, financial struggles, you name it. If we'll only do work when we feel like it, we're not going to get very far. Finally, and an Army sergeant taught me this, is that we have to be able to find a way to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. I can tell you time and time again, there were thousands of moments when I was at an EMS weekend 15 years ago, when I did work with Rick Reynolds personally, when I did some work for trauma care for my childhood. I was so uncomfortable. I hated it. I remember sometimes grabbing the couch or the chair so tightly. There came a day one time where I was meeting with my therapist about some childhood trauma, and he said, you know, you always have coffee. And I said, I wish you knew how tightly I'm holding on to my coffee mug because I am squeezing it because this is uncomfortable. I have learned how to be comfortable in very uncomfortable situations. Repair work will require that. It is going to be a necessity for you to learn individually, unfaithful or betrayed, how to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. If you can push through these 5 roadblocks, I promise you, your own journey will get richer. It will get better. It will become more meaningful. If you can push through these 5 roadblocks, you'll see your own individual recovery work absolutely flourish.